Hello.
How's it going, everyone?
Mm-hmm.
Let us know if you can hear us.
Not sure if there was a heads up for this video, so give it a little bit if anybody wants to come join us.
Yeah, we don't know if the volume's working. How's everyone doing tonight? Hopefully, it looks like the camera's working.
Hi, all. Let us know you're here. Matt's been super busy this week.
Boy, yeah, we've been really swamped. Late nights.
Our family's been busy. We've been busy with work, but also just busy with life, sick kids, gardening, all that jazz. So Matt didn't quite get to his laser video for this week, so we figured...
Nope, totally forgot about it.
Let's go live and see if anybody has any questions and things.
Hey, Moose.
Howdy from Alaska.
Nice. And warming up there?
Spring is almost here, I bet.
Well, thank you. Yeah, if you guys have any questions, put them in the comments. We got a head cold running through our house, so if I lose my voice, I'm sorry. 52 degrees, nice. Yeah, we got 40s the rest of the week. Oh, tomorrow they're saying it could get up to 60, but it's supposed to rain. Hey, Poppy, how are you doing? We're doing good. How about you? Yeah, they're saying rain starting tonight all the way until Sunday, so be getting some inside house projects done.
Well, there's just a few of those.
Yeah. Hey, Kathy.
Hi, Kathy.
Was it nice weather up there for you today? Any more small lasers reviews coming? Well, we have, hi Russell, we have one that they sent it to us and we even said no, but so we have one coming up, but I really don't want to do any more.
It's gonna be an interesting one. We weren't quite prepared to do it, so
no.
Yeah, I don't know. I really liked the X Tool one. Matt was a real fan of the X Tool. If you didn't watch that video,
I truly, honestly like the X Tool a bunch.
Not the same as our epilogues.
No, but it's a really good one
for a startup affordable laser. Pretty awesome.
Hi, Mike. It's very windy, Kathy said. Nice couple hours ago. Rain hasn't started yet. Yeah, it's cloudy and rain hasn't started yet, but it's still windy here. Really windy.
Yeah, I can't quite read the letters on there, but I think it says Sid J asked if the X Tool is good enough to start a laser engraving business. What are your thoughts?
I would say it's probably similar to, I mean, you could. Yes, you could. You start a business, get going with it. You can, like I said, you can have 3 of them to the same price as getting, what's that, Glowforge. So, yeah.
Yeah, and obviously there's many people who use Glowforge and that's their business.
The other reason why I got so excited about it is because that's a little laser, a little footprint, doesn't take up much space, but also it comes with, you can get air assist as an add-on, but then you can get the rotary tools and it's got the 4-in-1 now. I mean, the options on it are crazy.
Yeah. Rough Relics asked if you've done any acrylic. Actually, that's one of the things we're actually in the process of working on, but yes.
We have done it in the past with our CO2 lasers. I haven't done it with any of the little lasers, but the CO2 lasers I've done acrylic, and we have a project going on right now with
our other group. Yeah. Our private group is going to be working with acrylic here soon.
Russell just got the X Tool last night. Nice. You'll like it. I liked it a lot.
I want to know what Russell's done so far.
How are the kids and the eye? The kids are doing good.
Thanks for asking.
We're all sick and like head colds. And Evan's eye is doing great. So
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
you can't even tell when you look at him.
Yeah. If you didn't know about that, he had hurt his eye quite bad. And they had to put like a tube in it so it healed correctly. And then they had to pull the tube out.
Yeah.
And
it was like that long.
Oh, it was
no
gross.
joke. It was way down, cupped up here and around his tear.
That's enough.
Down below. So
he's doing great now, though.
Yeah. Crazy things they can do.
Yeah, I want to know did you start anything on your X tool yet, Russell? I'm wondering what the first thing you did was. I think Matt was pretty excited about photographs on it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we haven't had.
He bought it.
Kathy, the pollen's not too bad here yet. I'm assuming if tomorrow, they're saying rain tonight, and it's supposed to stop for a little bit tomorrow. Assuming things are going to really start.
You wouldn't know. You're so stuffed up. You wouldn't know any different.
Oh, you bought it. Okay.
So the real question is, what will he do first?
Yeah. Start thinking of stuff.
Oh, nice. Is that Sid J? I'm having trouble reading that. Sid J. He's looking at mounting the X tool on a wall at a fixed height. There'll be a shelf below that can be adjusted instead of using the extra X tool legs.
That's cool. That's a really good idea.
Very neat.
Yes, late burn and X tool works together. I believe, if I remember right, you had to do the stuff in X tool or late burn and bring it over into X tool. But when I was talking to X tool, they were trying to make it so you can just operate right off of late burn, which I guess was a software thing, which they probably already did. So it was already in the works.
Russell's going to be making some earrings, probably with acrylic. Is that who's asking about acrylic? Oh, the X tool. Awesome. That's a fun little project.
Poppy, how fast? She asked, how fast is the X tool compared to a CO2 laser? It's slow. I would have to do a time to be exact, but it's slow. Definitely slower.
You did something and you timed it. I can't remember.
Yeah, I don't know. There was so much tests that I did.
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I needed more time, really.
I think it was maybe like a quarter of it would take a quarter of the time in the laser.
So it's different.
It depends on what you're doing.
You had stuff, the X tool, that you can get finer detail into art that the CO2s can't do, like any CO2. So you have that. But as far as like the cutting and stuff, excuse me, it's a lot slower because you have to do 2 or 3 passes depending on the thickness. But I mean, that's fine.
Moosework says, I like the idea of the really big epilogue with the camera. Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dreams.
Yeah, we're contemplating or kicking around if we're going to trade in the one laser and upgrade, get a little better one.
It'll be coming before we know it, probably.
Can you do a comparison on the type products?
Like Searmark
LBT.
competitors?
A new one that's called LBT.
Sure. I'm writing down ideas for Matt. So if you guys have any ideas or questions.
Tin roof. There was, I cannot remember the name of it, but when I first started, there was something else with Searmark and another competitor, and that competitor is gone. So if that tells you anything. I don't know about this LBT. I can certainly look into it and order some and take in comparison because I actually have an order of quite a few mugs going out soon. So Kathy, my foot's doing good. Walking downstairs is still hard. I have to walk sideways. I can't bend it, tip it all the way down. It just has
Matt sprained his foot. Was it your foot?
Yeah. Well, I sprained my ankle and then I broke the end of it or whatever. So
Poppy is a he. His problem is getting it through the door. Oh my. Getting anything through the door. Always a problem.
Getting what to the door? Our laser?
Epilogue, that giant epilogue with the camera. Those X tools.
The giant epilogue with the camera is the same size as the M2 laser I have in the basement. So just an FYI, I have 2 sliding glass doors in the basement to go outside. So we had to open both those, get it in. To get it in the room that it's in, I had to dismantle the door and it barely fit. I actually had to take off the 2x4s
This is
to
more
get it
than
in
dismantling
and
the
then put
door.
those 2x4s back in. So, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully you're good with construction and or it can come right in the
Thanks,
door and
Kathy.
be
I'm helping with.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Laser engravings does a lot. It's crazy.
Yeah, you can add a lot of things. Like there is no end. Everybody, I think that's the really neat thing, especially about doing things on YouTube. Somebody was just asking us today if we're afraid of sharing kind of how we do things on YouTube with our business. And the truth of it is everybody there's so many different things you can
Yep.
do and so many different designs and everybody's got their own spin on things. So
But you always do have those people that will
well, of
follow
course,
you and
but
they just want to get something easy and something going. And it's not saying they're bad. It's just they're more, it's desperate or they're in hard times. It's how you look at it too.
Sid wants to know, what software do you prepare images and cut files, and what is the process? Vector files to
See, I use CorelDRAW, and I don't like doing photographs because unless you're doing photographs every single day on whether it's glass, wood, whatever it is, in constant, repetitive, nonstop, to me, it's a waste of time where I can just make a clip art or, take someone's handwriting and put it on there. Because I've messed up so many times on things trying to make it perfect. And so I don't mess around with photographs, but I use CorelDRAW and it's very fast to get it done. And it's so easy to use. And I really like CorelDRAW.
yeah, Kathy put North Star Prep Starter put a link in there for CorelDRAW if you want to check out that program. But that has been good for us. We've kind of stuck with it for that reason.
Yep. It's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And it's cheap. You guys don't have to get the new one either. Go on like eBay and get a cheaper one too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, get a used one or whatever.
Tin Roof Relic says we've been having a rough time lately, huh?
Yeah, again, our butt is being kicked.
Yeah, blessings among the craziness. And Poppy wants to know, it might be off topic, but when are we going to get some pork chops?
Oh, you seen that? Huh? September.
Yeah, if you don't watch our Matt and Sarah channel, yeah, we got some new additions to our family. Not really. I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, you can't really say it. We're going to eat them.
All right. So Russell says, in the last video about Xtool, it was going to grow your business. Can you elaborate on top of the 2 lasers you already have running your all business?
Yeah. So what I want to do is, now that the weather's starting to get nice, I have a 4-season out back underneath, and then I have a deck. Well, underneath the 4-season, it's waterproof. So I plan on setting it up out there, and I have some products I want to try running on it that we run. That we run all the time, and I know I can get a clean cut with it. So I'm going to run that out there and have that laser doing that where it's not holding up my 2 other lasers. So sorry, I'm not going to, I sent a video before I was going to give it away, but I'm going to hold on to that one. Like it.
Mark wants to know, what have you found is the best process for etching glass and what have you found with the diode laser?
So the diode laser, I haven't etched glass yet. There's some things I want to try. But like I said, I've been completely swamped.
You did it with one of the other little lasers, I believe, but not with the Xtool, didn't you? The per gear?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But far as like CO2,
sorry, let me move this.
Like a lot of people have a hard time, or if you don't have like dithering, then play with your colors, different shades of color. Go to a lighter gray. And what that's going to do is that's going to play with like your dithering. It's going to take your dots, instead of putting 100 of them in a little tiny circle, you're going to spread them out. So instead of 100, it'll be down to like 50. Well, by doing that, you're getting a frost. So your color is a huge part. Play with your shades.
Ilandar is asking, they have $10,000 to spend on a CO2 laser. They're just getting started, looking for what to buy. Any recommendations? Keep in mind, you might want to use some of that money towards product and materials too.
You know, that's
kind of
that's
hard.
hard. I don't have these lasers, but you could always start with that under laser. And there's another one. I would look into them.
Is Boss
Boss was another one,
range?
yeah. Look into Thunder Laser, I think was cheaper than Boss, but look into both of those, and then it all depends on what size too. Like, what are you going to be making? Do you need a really big laser, or can you get away with a smaller one to get you going? And then in that case, then you want to make sure you save some of the 10 grand to go towards your computer software stuff and your other equipment that you will need to whatever you're making and stock.
Russell's saying he's using Inkscape GIMP and Lightburn for the smaller lasers. There's some ideas for
Yep,
people.
we started out with ice or that
Inkscape.
yeah.
And Sid is saying I use Affinity products for vector stuff. Does the cutting software do the conversion to cut the files? I'm out in the middle of nowhere in Quebec. Lots of people here want laser services. Let me make sure I'm understanding that right. Does the cutting software do the conversion to cut the files? To cut files?
I don't know. I know, like, for me, what I do in Corel Draw is I pull it in and I make sure there's no color on the inside. So I hit the X all the way to the far left, or I guess however you have it. But where your color boxes are, go to the top one or the far left one, hit the X so it takes out all the color, and then you have lines, and then you can go up and pick your lines, and you want to go to hairline, and then it'll cut it. And then I always right click on red. Everything that's cut is always red for me.
Somebody said, I missed who said it now, but to go run those other lasers in the greenhouse.
I suppose once we get our starts out of there, we probably could.
Oh, good. You've already got that all budgeted. That's good. That's Ilandar is talking about that money towards a laser, already other money set aside for materials and things. I don't know if they're as common as they used to be, but there used to be like maker spaces where you could go and use a laser and kind of try things out. And that's a great option for when you're starting, if you can find maybe like near a college or something where you can go try out some lasers and kind of see what you like or see what you can do with the ones available. Fusion Pro 36 is on my dream list, or the Fusion Edge 36.
So
not sure yet.
That was Moose. I want to just let you guys know too. When we got our big laser, we ended up signing a job, and that's what pushed us to get that laser. So we financed that one for like this amount of time, and that job that we got, that big job, because of that laser. So always watch for that, and don't think you can't bid on a big job, because you can. Go to your local Epilogue dealer or laser dealer that's around you and say you need a test on this, and so you can send out whatever they want to look at, because we didn't have a fiber and they wanted some fiber work done with CO2. So we did all that, and that's what ended up getting us the job. So, because they will do the products for you.
Would you do that over again?
Yeah.
We did eventually lose that job.
Well, we didn't lose it completely, just that one.
No, just that particular item. Mark, sorry about your, is it a foot? Ankle. Sorry about your ankle.
Oh, you had ankle surgery in December. That would stink.
No greenhouse lasers, no. Oh, Kathy wants to know if we can solar power a laser
Mike.
and turn power in the greenhouse. Solve two problems, right?
Yeah, the other thing is too, we're completely swamped right now, which is a good thing. It's a blessing. I'll take it. But I really wanted to get our first ever laser up and going and put underneath the fours in season 2 and get that running. Because that's like your, like Mike's K40, but it's just the bigger one.
Yeah, we have a new laser tube to put in it. Could get that
I never even put it in.
That's awesome, Mark. He said, you guys have inspired me to start my own laser engraving business. I'm starting small and trying to work my way up to a larger laser. That's a great way to go.
Yep, that's what we did.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have how many if you count all the free little ones?
But hopefully the cat doesn't play with the laser, right?
Yeah, that son of a gun.
I planted onions out there today, and I'm just dreading going out there tomorrow and finding them all dug up or something, or him laying in the middle of them. Absolutely, Moose works.
3.5 month wait. Wow.
Oh, I missed that one.
Ours was 3 weeks when we bought ours.
What type of laser is that?
The epilogue.
Oh. Have you talked to the, what do you call the supplier? Your kind of local person? Maybe they have some in there.
No, they build them.
I know. I mean, like a trade-in or something. If you want to get started sooner.
Oh, for a used one, you're saying?
Oh, Kathy wants to know if we have to balance the climate, the humidity, etc., in the rooms you use the lasers in.
You know, our house is pretty balanced the way it is because we got our humidity is not too high. We have a wood stove going in the winter, but we also have a 125-gallon reef tank in the basement. So
fish tank.
Reef tank.
For those of you who don't know what it is.
A saltwater tank. And that puts a lot of moisture in here, but the wood stove balances that. And then during the summer, we have the AC on, which takes it out. But I know for CO2 lasers, if you are running water with the tubes, you can't let that freeze. You will shatter your tubes. And then if it's in the heat of the summer, you got to try to keep that water cool because you don't want your tube to overheat. So I would suggest climate control as your best bet.
Do you have any problems with the ducts getting dirty and clogged?
No, that 8-inch duct, I haven't had an issue. No, the 4-inch, yes. So I'm contemplating, on doing what are they called? It's my ductwork that I have out in the garage for my sawdust, and it's a tube with a ring in it. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but anyways, I plan on using those, and they're see-through, and putting them on there so as they start to get clogged, I can just cut it or pull them off and put a new one on, because that comes in like I think a 20-foot roll, if I remember right. And it's not too expensive, and you can get it right from Harbor Freight. So
yeah, somebody was talking about the supply chain with waiting for lasers. You know, I think over the last couple of years, there's a lot of people who started laser engraving businesses who are getting rid of their lasers now. And I can't remember the name of the group, but there is a Facebook group, and there's others specifically for selling laser engravers. So if you kind of search that in Facebook, you might be able to find the group, and you might have to do a little road trip or pay a little bit for shipping. But there's a lot of people selling ones that, you know, they did for a hobby for a little while, or used, and now they're kind of moving on to something else. So
yeah, and that's the other thing too, is you have to remember a lot of people now are like, we're finding a lot of people are going back to their jobs, like office, where some people were still working from home. We know quite a few people that were working from home because of the whole COVID thing, and now they're going back to their office like in the last couple of weeks. So you have to remember all those people that were doing side jobs and doing this from home are selling their lasers too. So that's something to think about. To watch for used lasers, and don't be afraid to get one. And if it's broke, you can fix it. Trust me, there's nothing to these things. You can really fix it.
Oh, it's a good question. Sid wants to know, what do you think the main reason for people stopping laser work is? I think it's that.
I think it's going back to work.
I think it's that. I think a lot of people who were doing it were doing it so they could stay home or so they could have a hobby. And I think you have to be kind of diligent at anything you're going to jump into and do. If you're just doing it so you can stay home rather than to do it, you know, there's a lot more to it. No.
So yeah. Sid, the way I did the thank you. I had a lot of fun doing it. And I actually, when I forget what part of it, once the video was going for a while and I started talking and you could tell my voice got high, like excitement level was high. It's because of like that, because that took 3 days. I don't know if you knew that. So
3 days? How long did you have that thing?
We had it for a little while, but it took 3 different days of trying to record that video. And when that last day, third day, I was getting so excited because I was just thinking of the possibilities. Like if we would have had this when we started, it blew my mind. What you guys have nowadays is nothing compared to what. And I feel like I'm an old man saying this, but it's like it's only been 5 years, but boy, the technology has changed in the 5 years.
How long has it been? You lost a couple years.
Oh, geez.
7 years.
7 years. 2015.
Yeah.
So it's crazy how far everything has come, for sure.
It's an awesome opportunity, for sure. If we were starting out, I mean, you could easily finance something like that, a much more affordable option, and just get started.
That's something else too. Like looking back, when I was doing this full-time work, and I'm pretty stubborn, and so is she. So we weren't going to let it fail. But at the same time, I don't think if you would have asked us this year and a half in, would you guys ever do this full time? I don't think we would have even known where the possibilities we could go.
We were just trying to make ends meet, to be honest.
And now, don't get me wrong, the last 2 years, we were like, boy, is it going to stay like this? Like it just plateaued. It felt like. Well, we also had people that were trying to find our shop in the worst way, and that only hurts us. So thank you for not doing that. But when you have your shop going and it's just like you plateaued and you kind of start thinking like, am I going to go back to work? Well, then you start thinking, am I going to be able to handle listening to someone giving me orders? No way. I'm my own boss. Like it's freedom. So you switch your mindset and then you start thinking of different things you can do. And in the moment, and like you start going and you get the momentum going and you keep going and you drive it in and you just go. Like you have to find those moments, and you will get discouraged. I'm not going to say you're not. This isn't picture perfect. This isn't a painting. You will get discouraged. You're going to get your butt kicked, but it's worth it.
Mm-hmm. Sid wants to know, where's the best method of selling items to customers? How do you get items to customers?
Shipping. I truly love the shipping aspect. Like our friends and everything, we're like, dude, just do it on Etsy. Like we're so busy right now. Just go on Etsy because we can print the order, we put it in our file clip, and then when I get it, I go through it and I just pound them all out. And when you get family and friends, they're like, well, I just want to come over, or I'll just pay you instead of paying you through Etsy. I'm like, the little percentage that they take, I don't care. Just go through Etsy. It saves me a lot more time.
Saves headache. Yeah, we use Etsy for the majority of our business. We do have QuickBooks, so sometimes I'll send a QuickBook link. Again, if it's somebody usually we know trying to help us out, or if it's a really large order, I'll send it through QuickBooks. If they did not contact us on Etsy, you got to follow all those rules and such. But that's worked out good for us. It's a great platform that's already set up. I know, every platform is going to have their headaches, but it's already set up. It's easy to work with. You can get started right away on it. But online is really nice, just sending things in the mail. And we have a lot less customer things to do. I can be talking to the kids and doing homework with them and working at the same time. Where if
you're going to start doing that more now?
Working or doing homework with the kids? Probably both. I need to do more of. Anyways.
My wife and I are just starting out with the diode laser or diode. Hoping to upgrade an Optech.
Good night, Yana Po Yano. 1:58 a.m.
David, we started out with one. So I'm pretty sure that was Amatech, wasn't it?
No.
Or they're like Amatech, isn't it?
It's like a knockoff of Amatech.
Well, it was an eBay laser, the big blue one. It was a 60 watt, but when you um, hook up the electrical to it, it was only 30. I got 35 out of it once, but say lie.
And it wasn't in English, which made
Yeah,
it
it
really
wasn't.
hard to use.
We had to Google how to speak that English or speak. I think it wasn't even Chinese. It was something else, but we had to figure it out and then switch it over.
Do you use the free USPS priority mailboxes for shipping?
That's for you.
Yes and no. I would love to purchase all our boxes. I'd love to have branded boxes.
What's up, Scott?
In reality, that is not always how it goes. So we use whatever method makes the most sense financially for the most part.
Yeah.
So sometimes those boxes cost more to ship.
Yep.
But the cost of the box outweighs that or doesn't, and it changes.
That's the other thing too, is if you guys are having a product that's starting to sell a lot more and you know the box size, start ordering the box size in bulk. Mm-hmm. And if you're shipping it in the USPS priority mailboxes, look what it would be, even if you order a small order of them from Uline, and just to ship it and see what that box would be without doing priority.
Yeah, compare them. Well, and that's something too. Sometimes, we've switched items like suppliers, and all of a sudden the item is under a pound and I can ship it first class, but I'm stuck shipping it priority because I have the priority box. And then it's like, oh, I can't do that. I need to give my customers that option to have it shipped cheaper.
Yep. Yeah, even if it saves you 75 cents, it all
Scott asked, what's up?
Yeah, I said, what's up?
Uline is good for boxes. That's who we purchase basically all of our shipping materials through. We've tried a couple other places here and there, and to be completely honest, we always go back to Uline. We have even driven to Uline to pick up when it was that last minute, and they ship like the next day. So it should never be that last minute.
But we needed them.
But we did that. Was that last year at Christmas time?
Yeah, it was in November when we did it. And the shipping, they pushed it out a day. That's why we drove there.
Yeah. And you don't have to pay for shipping, if like the delivery fee, if you pick it up. So if you are close to one, it was very convenient. You just backed up to the shipping dock and they loaded it up.
Toss it right in for you.
Let's see. Do you use Pirate Ship or anything? So Tin Roof Relics, we mainly ship through Etsy. So they have an option, at least here in the US, I think it's different based on what country you're in, to ship with USPS or FedEx. So mostly we ship USPS. For our larger packages, we use ShipStation and ship through UPS. We used to have our own business account with UPS, and honestly, ShipStation's prices were so much better than what we could get with our business account. We kind of dropped it, and we just use UPS, and then we don't usually pay for pickups. We just get to know our pickup drivers, and they check UPS to see if we have packages to pick up when they happen to be coming through, because we're ordering things obviously a lot, so they're dropping off. Otherwise, we just run them into UPS now.
Because we have a UPS driver that drives by almost daily. So if you do, stop him or make a pickup so he stops. And when he does, talk to him.
Or be really nice.
Make him a mug.
Give him some salsa and some honey. And they'll continue to stop even when they're almost all the way by and back up. So
they have us. He told us to take all the packages, set them upright so he can see the label because there's a big square on it, and he'll stop.
Yep. So that's try to get those done a little early in case he's not driving by that day.
Yep. For some people it does.
Oh, Sid said his wife and him started a business 18 months ago. They're retired, so they don't have to succeed, but the business is already going nuts. That's awesome.
That is really cool.
And how fun to work together. Golf trophies, awards, etc. Yeah, that's great.
And it's fun money at that point,
Yeah.
Do we ever do craft shows? We haven't. We did. Well, I guess we send stuff with my mom and dad.
Yeah.
And then my dad does a boutique every year.
Matt's dad does just kind of like a little stop and shop thing a couple times a year. So we usually send things with him. We did not this time around,
No.
but sometimes we do. It's usually just, we do a lot of personalized things. That tended to be our niche when we got started, was personalizing, and we kind of stuck to it.
But it was tumblers, and we kind of stepped away
right.
from tumblers.
We've come away from some of that a little bit and realized how much nicer it is to be able to just quickly ship things and have those on the shelf ready to go. But people still like the personalized stuff too. So that would make it a little more difficult in a show. I have seen people at craft shows doing different things with their laser at the craft show. So it is possible.
Yeah.
Uline is too much in freight to get items to Alaska. Oh, that's awesome. Or that stinks. Sorry. That's not awesome. Awesome for me. No.
That'd be hard.
I'm sure
Alaska.
I'm sure there's got to be somewhere local, but I think no matter what, you'd probably pay a higher cost.
How do you even get product? Like, I guess it depends what you're selling. It depends what you're selling.
Hopefully things cut out of wood.
Because that's got to be expensive to ship your product there too.
Yeah.
Or your items to sell and then ship them.
Everything's going to be a higher cost. Yeah. In that case, it might be more beneficial for you to sell locally, Mooseworks. Bribery still works. Yep. What do you think about the new Dymo printers? You only use their labels with a chip in their labels.
I don't know.
Oh. So can you only use their labels, Rob?
Rob, we use the Rollo. We love it.
We previously used Dymo.
That thing would always mess up. I hated that thing.
We had errors with it. It was fine. It did its job, but it would have so many issues.
It's tough to keep it.
I'm trying to remember if we had to use their label brand.
No, because we went
just
through this.
Round labels.
We bought them with my brother by the pallet.
I'm trying to remember.
We bought them by the pallet by the round.
But they had to be round.
They weren't. Yeah, they weren't.
Yeah, we've switched to a Rollo printer. So
and you can use round or flat with the Rollo.
Yes. And it's night and day difference. I mean, I still have issues with the Rollo, but not even remotely as much as we did. Yeah, if you are not using a label printer for your packages, when you're getting to the point where you are getting sick and tired of cutting out all those labels or using your paper cutter and cutting out all those shipping labels, invest in a label printer. Rollo's our favorite.
By far, yeah.
I need help starting from the bottom, getting customers and sales. I'm getting a Mira 7 in July, and I have a Glowforge now. Any advice would be appreciated. Starting from the bottom, I don't look at it like that. But just get started. Jump in. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
I think that's what most people do, is they're trying to come up with this like perfect, great product. And it's like, just throw something out. And it either sticks or it doesn't.
Get on platforms and don't, you're not going to sell right away overnight. You're not going to make millions, but over time you will. It takes time, just like everything.
Oh, yes. It says the new laser printers only allow their own labels. That stinks. Yeah, I would definitely switch to the Rollo then. That just gets more spendy that way too, if their labels were more affordable.
Yeah.
Mooseworks says flat rate shipping is easiest for individual orders. Oh, good to know. See, now that's something we don't use a lot. So if that works for you in Alaska, then that's awesome. When you asked, I said earrings because they are small and then I can grow bigger from there. Oh, yes. So Russell's waiting on his laser and he's going to start with earrings. I think that's great. Start with something small. I kind of wish we had done that. Find a home for that something small.
And the diode laser would be great for the earrings, in my personal opinion, because the detail you're going to get out of it.
I think is he waiting on the X tool?
I think so. I think Russell is X tool.
Ed says, hello, Matt and Sarah. Oh, thanks, Ed.
Thanks, Ed.
You like the Rollo too, Scott?
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah. Seriously, like you can go on you can do it both, but the Rollo, we have it speed all the way up, and the darkest it'll go. And when we hit print, that thing just.
I do love that. I I used to with the Dymo, I would like wait and have my hand ready to print a label and then it would come out. And this one, I just do them all in a row and they just keep coming.
We do batch. So it's like, we'll make a bunch of labels for, 20 or plus packages. So she'll print them out and then I'll take them to the other table, put them on, and she'll get the other stuff ready to get shipping again.
How do you deal with custom jobs? Do you show the customers a sample proof of what the job will look like before you cut it?
I try to do everything digital if I can.
Yes, but we typically do not offer free proofs. I mean, that would have to be a pretty large order for us to send a free proof. Usually we charge our customers first, and depending on the job, we might charge a proof fee if it's something we feel they shouldn't need it or they do. We do not always offer, we do not require a proof. They don't have to purchase that option. And then if for some reason they don't like what we come up with, we offer to refund their money. Basically, we haven't done anything yet other than just working on the computer side. And we're fine with that, because what we find is often when people put the money up front, they've already paid for it, then they're more likely to kind of communicate with us and work something out.
And you get the sale.
Mm-hmm. Otherwise, we end up going back and forth, 10, 20 times with somebody, and we have yet to make $1 on the sale, and it doesn't work out.
Tin roof after. Put the clear coat on after, not before. Count how many labels you have left. Oh, really? Huh.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, it doesn't even matter how many labels are left. That's just a moneymaker for them. They can make more money than selling the labels. Yeah,
it's going to make their competitor work harder, or not have to work as hard, I guess.
And the Rolo goes on sale. Watch it during the holidays, because that's when they put sales on them all the time.
Sid wants to know, how well does fake leather engrave on a laser?
It's fine. There's some leathers, the fake leathers, you got to watch, because I forget the name.
I think that's real leather you're talking about. Isn't it?
No, there's some fake leather coming now from China that has that stuff that's in PVC that's not good for your laser. So
don't cut PVC.
No, don't ever put PVC in your laser.
Don't ever cut PVC. Have you had an opportunity to review the Niger diode lasers? A friend of mine went to get one with the extensions to cut foam board for RC planes. Not that particular laser, but I'm assuming it's another diode laser.
Yeah, I don't know. Any feedback on the Chinese laser? I can fix about anything. The Chinese laser, so far as I'm just leave it there. We got some comments coming in, but I'll scroll down a little bit. The Mad Dog, the Chinese lasers. So I got the eBay one, and when I first started, what I recommend is, if anyone gets one of those, you're going to notice that the bed doesn't have any kind of rulers. If you look at an epilogue, you're going to have a ruler on the left and a ruler on the top. I suggest to take a piece of wood and pin it or screw it down to the bed. Take your laser, once you have it up and running, mark it, or even cut it off. The farthest over to the left you can go, and farthest to the top. Because now you have a template to go off of that you can put, you can run. So this way you can take, let's say, multiple things like knives. Let's say you can do 10 knives in a row, and then you have it marked on the so-called rulers that you made across top. Because I use those rulers every single day, and it's how I can run 50 items in a time. And that's how you make your money. So you can walk away and get something else. Yeah. So I can go and help her ship, or I can, do it that way. It'll save you a ton of time and money.
Rob is saying like that, kind of depending on just one label printer or something could shut down your business. I think that is just something so important to think about. Like, anything with your business where you're depending on one thing to work is going to be trouble. At some point, it's going to be trouble. Even with our suppliers, we always have a backup option, even if it's not somebody we're purchasing through regularly or it's a more expensive option. We've always got that backup option because even if it's different, even if it's slightly different, you get cup A all the time and cup B is a little bit smaller, but you have that in your back pocket to use if you aren't able to get it. I think that's just so important to keep things going.
David, so far as custom work online, we make them pay the fee first, unless it's a big order. We'll show them a digital copy of what it'll look like. But if it's local businesses around here, I don't make them pay first.
Yeah, I think it's different when it's something like that. And I think when you're ordering something online, people expect to pay up front. But when somebody's giving you a phone call and they're like, hey, I heard of you from so-and-so, or I work down the street, then
Moose.
It's a little different.
Oh, yeah. You guys, Moose, you don't have to ship it to us. You can even send it in picture by email, and I can help you out with it and tell you what thoughts are or whatever. It's up to you. Hey, Brian, how you doing? Oh, tin roof. We got to get reading these. We're getting behind here.
Sorry.
This one here, we're left off.
All right. Have you ever had a customer send you something that was spelt wrong, then show them their mistake? How do you handle that? Oh my gosh.
This answer it fast so we can move on.
But it's a big one. It's a loaded question. Okay. I am very particular when things are spelled incorrectly, or let's say an apostrophe is in the wrong spot.
If they said, so this is what I like about Etsy. If they send you this information, I copy and paste everything off of Etsy, what their order is, and then I paste it in to the font they pick and whatnot. Yep. So it's not on me. If they get mad about it and they send it back, say I made it, and they say a mistake, we'll give them a discount to send out the product, mm-hmm. even if it's half. We're making a little bit then, and they're happy as can be.
I think one of the biggest ones, we see this almost every time, is in wedding glasses or wedding items for men. People use the word groomsmen on single items. And I'm like, it's groomsman. So I just changed those because I'm like, that's just a mistake. And it's somebody frantically planning their wedding. And we just change them and send them out. If there's any question, or there might be like a language barrier or something, then we usually do let it go. Sometimes I see a mistake. I realize what happened. And if I catch it, as soon as like the order's coming in, I can send a quick message about it.
Poppy, no, I haven't.
Row mark leather. We're definitely trying to get into more leather items.
Yes, we do. We do a lot of that stuff for people that have passed, sadly.
Yeah. Hey, thanks, Jason. I loved your cards. I don't think we ever got a chance to thank you, so thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, they ended up being just used them for perfect sympathy cards, so thank you.
Scott, it saves so much time, dude. It's fast.
Like that.
Paperboard. Yep.
Yes.
We actually were trying to switch some of our products because of the whole Russia stuff going on. So they were saying that we weren't going to be able to get the wood anymore. And then, now someone else is building it. Sort of, you got the wood. But yes, we tried using that stuff from Uline, ordered a bulk of it. It's fine if you have bigger stuff. If you're going to get like small, like let's say like a font or something, it'll cave from the heat. So you'd have to do multiple passes.
Depends on what you're doing on cutting it with. It cut fine though. What's the best way to start selling? Who should you sell to, and what should you sell?
Start selling, pick a platform and go with it. The other thing is like hobbies. Whatever hobbies you're in, get into it, make some stuff, and that's all it takes. It really does.
Yeah, when we got started, I think we just asked people like, what do you like to do on Facebook? And we got these like random answers. Like somebody was like, there's never any gifts for people who play disc golf. And we were like, okay. So we made up this disc golf design and we still sell it. Like it's just kind of like, all right, it doesn't exist. So people wanted it. Do you ever send an email to ask for approval of the artwork before you engrave it? Yes and no. We would most to someone if we had a question like we don't like how this looks or your stuff didn't come through clearly, so we had to use something different. We actually charge a fee if they want to see something beforehand. So the only reason we would send it without charging that fee is that we have a concern about it. I've cut the foam board from Walmart cuts well, says Doug.
Oh, we haven't done that one.
You have any fiber lasers or thoughts about getting one?
Yep, we have a fiber. We don't use it nearly as much now because we lost that one job.
Oh. Sid says to send them a dictionary when they make a mistake. Oh no, we all make mistakes. Hey, Brian.
What do I use to edit the videos with? Final Cut Pro.
Yep.
I used iMovie for a while, but Final Cut Pro, man, it takes me an hour generally to do a video.
Let's see. Romark sells leather and fake leather materials. I haven't tried them yet, but I'm about to order some of their cat patches. Oh, yeah. Let us know how it goes. Definitely something we've had in the works,
Lisa.
too. That's a question, Sid. I have no idea.
Poppy, we have been really kicking around the idea with the cat patches.
But it's just I don't want to do
here's the thing. We know a ton of people with a lot of businesses around here that do hats, and they would go through us and they said it many times to us. I don't know if I want to do the adhesive. So I think I want to splurge and get the sewing and sew it on.
And I'm like, let's just start. I showed a truck driver a picture of a ceramic tile I did, and he's bought mirror, slate tile, and ceramic tile for his motorcycle man cave. I've gotten more work by word of mouth. That's awesome. Those are some of the best things when you get like a message and you're like, I just loved so-and-so's stuff, and I would like you to make something for me.
Yeah.
Looking for a good MDF board. I used some from Home Depot, and the glue in it messed with my laser. Any ideas? Is that the kind of ones that I bought from Home Depot?
Oh, I was reading some.
Or I'm sorry, I bought them at Menards. MDF, is that what it is?
Yeah. So, Lisa, if you have a Menards by you, go through them.
Yeah, and that's what I bought, right? And
yeah, but she got just MDF, I'm guessing, because they have that Home Depot. But go to like Menards carries like a maple veneer or birch veneer. What's the other one?
There's a whole bunch.
There was like 4 right in a row that are good quality. Oak was another one.
You have to look through them. They're even there. It was hard.
It's oak or maple or veneer or birch filled, MDF filled, and it cuts flawlessly.
Wait, the glue in it messed up the laser? Or it just kind of got messed up?
What did it mess up? Did it leave burn marks? Like where your exhaust is going through?
Poppy says they have an embroidery business. What a wonderful addition. There's a lot of things you can kind of coincide
you guys should be killing it then with laser and embroidering. Oh man, we'd be swamped if we did that with all the schools.
My grandma was a seamstress, so she also ran an embroidery business. So I find that really fascinating.
Yes, Kathy, absolutely.
We're about to expand to selling uniforms and workwear. Oh, that's awesome. Hey, you can laser engrave name tags too.
Lisa, you're going to have, so it's going to,
no Menards. Oh,
dang.
Lowe's. There's gotta
I don't know about Lowe's. Yeah, so
blows my
it's your exhaust fan is sucking it all out, you're gonna have it's gonna be a darker tint, but you can use that LA Awesome and it'll clean right off. I have to do mine every once in a while. It gets really dark. Um, Rob is asking Birch MDF filled. So what they do is they put a laminate over the MDF, and it's great. So we ran into an issue with our supplier.
a cabinet shop, basically.
Yeah, and they're getting semi trucks of this wood. They're getting our 1/4 inch to them because we like 1/4 inch. Not too many people can cut
A lot
1/4
of
inch.
people use
So
1/8 inch.
we do 1/4 inch. But we got a bunch of it, and the MDF was bad. Like you couldn't cut it. It was coming out. It had black soot all over it. It was terrible.
Like thousands of dollars worth of this
Yep,
stuff.
and it's still sitting there, so it's gonna be campfire this summer.
I think we just have to cut some different things out of
And that's
it.
what I made the shelf out of, and I only used 4 sheets
Yeah.
out of how many?
Kids want some more shelves in their room. The Melbourne 16 needle embroidery machine or Bernina are awesome. I'm writing those down. I don't know that we will ever embroider, but you never know. Melbourne 16 needle. Bernina.
Thanks, Ed. Write that down. Who's looking at that?
What's that?
Colorado
Heirloom and Loveland, Colorado sells the
sells
best
thin wood. And so I wonder if that's the one that supplies like JDS, because I know it was somewhere out there in Colorado, I believe. It was somewhere out west of us. What thickness boards? So far as like cutting, I like 1/4 inch because not too many people use 1/4 inch. And I find that shipping 1/4 inch versus 1/8 inch, it holds up. But a lot of people have smaller lasers, so they can't do as fast as cut as I can with the bigger laser either.
Oh, it's awesome, Lisa. Tinner Frelick says 1/8 inch MDF and plywood in full 4x8 sheets is the hardest thing to find. Yeah, you're probably finding smaller sheets if you're finding it and you want to fill your bed, huh?
So the 1/8 inch, to get that, you need to do, well, Menards for us has it. I know Home Depot by us, they carried some, but it's the smaller chunks. It wasn't a 4x8 sheet. You couldn't get in a 4x8 sheet. It was all cut down.
And we have a Home Depot like within minutes, so that would be really convenient if it was right there.
But I believe, like, if you know anyone that's in cabinetry, go and ask them, like, hey, can you get this wood for me? Or call them. Even if you know them or not, call them and ask them. And say next time you go place an order, can I place some of this on there? And even if you had to put money down.
Yeah, we have good working relationships with like 3 different cabinet shops. So it's, if something doesn't work out one place, we can go to another.
Poplar is a very good one, yeah. I think poplar is the one that's going to be hard to find right now.
Is it?
I think so. Or is it birch?
I think it's birch. Is cutting hardboard really horrible if you can't get anything else? Like a hardwood?
Yeah, Rob, my brother has a CNC table, and he uses all the MDF filled. Well, not all, but most of it.
What is your highest wattage laser? How thick can you successfully cut?
What is cutting hard?
I already read that.
Oh,
I thought maybe you didn't know what they meant. I wasn't sure. Is cutting hardboard really horrible if you can't get anything else? Like, I'm assuming like a hardwood.
I'm thinking hardwood. I don't know if they. No, if you can get like 1/8 inch maple, oak, that all that. The thing is, you can find it. If there's any smaller sheets, where I'm taking a piece that's 20 inches by 32 inches, putting in my laser where I can run something for an hour and a half and walk away, or not walk away, but don't have to sit there and change any parts out. So, But you're gonna hardwood, you're gonna have a cleaner cut.
Electronic Chaos is asking, what is your highest wattage laser and how thick can you successfully cut?
75 watt and what was it, half inch? I think I only did it once. I think half inch is the thickest I ever cut.
And Jason is saying he started last year with a diode, but got a K40 to try. The diode was just too slow. It has a smaller bed size, but that's okay. I won't be able to get going when it gets warmer. Yeah, the switching over from the diode will be fast, right?
You still have that diode? Run them both if you do. Pick your cutting or your stuff that you need to run that can run faster in the K. Keep the other one for the bigger jobs.
there
Let
you
it run by
go.
itself, slow it.
Ed says that Hobby Lobby and Ace Hardware have thin birch plywood.
Oh,
I've
there you
never
go.
thought to check there.
Our Ace Hardware does not have anything.
Yeah, maybe a farther out one.
They're pretty small though, like smaller than this room.
Do you finish your wood before you cut or engrave?
It depends on the job.
Mm-hmm.
Typically, no, but there is a couple of jobs that I have to.
David says he has the Omtech 60 watt CO2 laser and he has some really thin wood laminate to cut into letters. This is very precious wood, a 16-inch thick. Any idea of what I should use for my start settings? Ooh.
Do you have a sample piece? If you could, I would do a sample piece and start out, or if you didn't, okay, so even if you didn't have a sample piece, if you know the cutout and the layout in it, find a part that's going to be cut out. And I would start by cutting in there. A 60 watt CO2. I'm assuming it's a newer one, so it should be a true 60, if not a 50. I would go, I wouldn't even do 100%, probably 80% power. And then I do 50% power actually. You can do 80% power and do 100% fast you can speed and then try that. But you might get some walking. So just do 80 and 80 first. And you're probably going to have to end up playing with your power on that because that's pretty thin. And you're going to want it fast so you don't get any flames.
Have you ever cut words for a wall? How do you deal with items that are bigger than the laser bed?
Hold on. I haven't had that issue.
I'm trying to think. We did cut, maybe not cut. We engraved something larger than the bed.
What if you cut them and then glued them? So like where the letters meet, if you have, let's say, a D and you had where the D meets the long letter or long part and you had that glued, or you can even go this way. Have it spliced and then do 2 cuts, and then you can actually put 2 in different. I would try to glue
them. Why doesn't Epilogue work with or use Lightburn as their software? That's a good question. I've had problems with buying plywood from the big box hardware stores. I found a lot of voids in the sheets that caused some really bad cuts. Yeah, you really have to look at it.
You had to pick through because I broke my foot.
Yeah, it was like the day we needed wood, Matt hurt his foot, and thankfully my dad had no objections going to Menards with me. And I thought I was particular, but there had to be, I don't know, like 50 sheets there, and we went through every single one, front, back, every little corner to pick the very best. Oh yeah, putting it together like a puzzle. Exactly. Something for a special bathroom door. When it's closed, it will say in use, glued to the back side of the door. I have one test piece to play with to get it dialed in. Yeah. Definitely check out your manual, right? Or pass through. Doug says get a bigger laser. Uh, uh, if only we could answer everything like that.
I know the chat's going.
Problem
I'm trying
solved.
to catch up yet.
Oh, we're all good. I think we need to get to bed. So we are probably going to have to call it a night. If you have any more questions, be sure to leave them in the chat, and I will make a note of it, and Matt can address them in a later video. Right?
Yeah.
And you guys let him know what you want to hear about next, because he loves hearing your ideas, so he can kind of speak to what you want to hear about.
Honestly, we're really swamped, so I'll probably do if you guys have questions or whatever, I'll do a video of recording me as I'm working and answer some of them.
Working and answering?
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark.
Thanks, David.
Oh, Doug, where's the money to print the button to print the money? He wants to know. If we only could find that, huh? Kathy says it's great to see you again, Matt.
Glad you got to see me again.
Bye, guys.
See you guys. Have a wonderful weekend.